All right, there you go, Dave. We are live.
Yeah. Hey, guys, now you know Hawk Talk is a live show. but, yeah, we ain't edited nothing, man. This is you get everything, uncut and unedited. Hey guys, welcome to Hawk Talk. As always, my brother Walter Thurman the third's here. Yep, now I know he can hear me because he gave me the salute. And we want to welcome our special guest, Uchenna Nwosu, Super Bowl champ, and we'll talk a bunch about that. And then representing the 12s is our watch party brother, our push up brother, Greg Farrell. Uchenna, we'll wait. We'll wait till you retire, and then we'll get you out to a watch party. But it, it's Huntington Beach, over 300 people. We pack a place. They're doing push ups. You guys almost killed us. These guys ain't done 25 push ups, I don't think, ever. And I mean, our offense is scoring 30 some points, man. You know, they were getting like workouts in. They're getting muscles.
How many push-ups are they
So,
doing per touchdown?
no, one per point.
Oh, one per point. Oh, okay,
But
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
every
So when
time,
you got
every
yeah, when
time
you
you
guys are
score,
racking them up, they're in there just banging them out.
yeah, so when you guys are scoring 30 some points, at the end of the day, they've done 80 some push-ups, 100 push-ups, right? Every
Oh
time
yeah.
they score. And then we've got this gal that bangs these drums, and she bangs a drum. I'm telling you, it competes with Seattle, and it's Huntington
Okay.
Beach, man. And but we have people coming from Seattle coming in and going, "Hey, is this where the watch party is?" I say, yeah, good thing you got here early, because it's standing room only. Anyhow, uh, hey, welcome to the show, bud. I appreciate you hopping on with us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So last week, it's hard to schedule, so many different people, but we last week we had Malcolm on, uh, and as I was sharing with both of you, I mean, what an awesome story. How about, do you know Malcolm well?
Yeah, I met Malcolm plenty of times. Great dude, down to earth, very humble, man. He looks like he can still play too to this day. So shout out to
Yeah.
Malcolm, man. He's a great guy.
Very, yeah, he's a really a quiet guy, but he's also very
Yeah.
giving of his time. But
Yeah.
and for those of you guys that are watching, and if you don't know, both you, Chen and Malcolm, both came from USC. Ended up playing in a Super Bowl, and ended up each having a defensive touchdown in a Super Bowl win for the same team, for the Seahawks. I don't know what the odds are, but they're high, right?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty amazing. So I want to share one story, and then we'll let Walt take over here a little bit. But there is something I do want to share, and I don't know if you remember this, Chenna. Each week or each year, actually, I attend the whole week of Super Bowl events, starting with opening night, and this year it's usually at the stadium. This year was at a convention center, and they announced the teams, and the teams are out in the field and doing their interviews, which you guys were doing, and what I noticed was is they stuck all the fans in this crazy corner where they really couldn't see you guys. I mean, that's why they're there.
Mm.
And 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 when we got there hours early, the line wrapped around the convention center, so they had to have been there for hours, just waiting to get in. Then they stuck them over in that corner. And you guys didn't see them because you guys are doing your interviews and doing your stuff, and people are in your face. Well, I walked over to you and I said, Uchenna, I don't know if you know this, but all our fans and they're cheering but they're way over in this corner. You stopped what you were doing and you walked over with me and you shouted, "See!" and it erupted with Hawks and to watch everybody's face and appreciate you taking the time to go over there and you're high-fiving the kids, and actually you actually didn't just do that, you actually spent time and got more players over there, and that meant so much, and it just shows your character, and I just want to acknowledge you for that, and people should know, because that's there's a lot. Walt knows this. There's a lot going on. Right.
Yeah, there's
So
definitely a
anyway.
lot going on. Yeah. But it was awesome, to see all those fans there because when we first entered, we didn't really see any fans. It was when we started talking to the media and everything, they were tucked in the back and there was
Yeah.
just so much going on. So you didn't even get a chance to really get over there. And so when I ran into you, you said, come over here, say what's up to the fans. And, that was a no brainer to do. And just to see all those Hawks fans out there, just being able to cheer with them and see them supporting us, it means a lot. They were really part of this season for us.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, so Greg, aside from missing your opportunity to play golf with you, Uchenna, and Chenna's been working on his golf game, but not as much. And I've been watching you, brother. Preseason, you've been working your butt off.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching you doing like all kinds of crazy stuff.
I mean, I didn't really get an off season last year, dealing with coming off the knee surgery, and I was just really in rehab the whole time. So, and just kind of just got thrown into the season, just kind of just off of just what I know and what I've been, in the past. So just to be back out there, have a full off season, be out there with the fellas, run around, have total confidence in my body again, and it felt good. So, and I'm happy to be able to have another off season like this and have a stronger season this year.
Yeah, and with no off season, how many sacks you have? 8, 9?
I had 7. I tied the team lead with 7.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean that was a great with no off season, right? I
Yeah.
mean 7 sacks is a lot. That's awesome. I'm sorry, Greg. I was gonna give you a turn to shoot some questions off, but you know me, I start talking.
Yeah, well. First of all, I was going to say, Jen, it's your loss. You didn't get to golf with me because I've got this gift. I've got this gift of making whoever's paired with me feel really good about their golf game, man. You will come out feeling like Tiger Woods if you're golfing with me. And I am really sorry I didn't get to join you, but it was a fantastic event, Dave. I mean, what you did that day and all the money you raised for the veterans, it was really proud to be a part of that, and that was pretty special. That was pretty fun. But I do have a question for you, Chenna. Besides golf, like, obviously you're training, but what other things do you like to do, like physically, that won't hurt you or set your training back, but kind of keep you active? I mean, what is it that you like to do?
I like to swim. Where I live out here in California, it gets really hot. So I definitely got to swim. Try to go to the beach often, just walk around there. More so in the evening time when it's a little cooler. I like to hike when I'm in Seattle in the summertime. It's beautiful out there, as you guys know. The hiking's amazing. Try to get on the water, ride jet skis, spend time with my family a lot. Like you said, I try not to do too much, like running and jumping when I'm not, if it's not for football, because, you never know what might happen. But yeah, golfing, like you said, I picked that up a lot more recently. It's coming really fun for me. And yeah, pretty much just being outdoors, anything chill, just get the body moving. I'm into Pilates a lot now. So that's been pretty fun too. So
yeah, because you're entering what, your 9th season?
9th season, yep.
Yeah, so that's stretching, man. you
You know.
you got to start working on some of that old man stuff.
No doubt, Dave. No doubt.
Yeah. Now, hey, so you mentioned golf, and I went to your golf tournament. Are you having a golf tournament this year for your foundation? Are you doing, because you in the past have done a golf, a bowling day, and then a camp for kids. Are you doing any of those this year?
So actually, this year I'm kind of switching my management team up a little bit.
Okay.
And so that kind of takes a lot of more planning and organization and structure. So I kind of want to get the team more under wraps. Finalize a few things before I jump into something such as big as those events, because I want it to be perfect. I want it to be, for the community. I want it done the right way. So I don't want to rush into anything without the proper planning and the proper, team in place. So once I get that structure figured out, definitely next summer we'll get rolling.
All right, cool. So what'd you think of ours?
Oh, it was great, man. I had a great time. That Coto de Casa course was beautiful. My partner was awesome.
Okay,
The food was delicious. Everybody was nice. The setup was great.
good.
It was an awesome time, man. I like Orange County. I like being out there. Good weather, good views, good food. So I can't wait to do it next year.
Yeah, but I know what's important to you and yours is to keep it local. You grew up in Carson, and you want to keep it there. So the people that you grew up with that got you to where you are, that supported you to be where you are, that when you're giving back to those people. It's easy to go hang out down in Newport, but those weren't the people that got you there. So I actually that Carson course was a little different. Greg Townsend out there playing. we had to find grass to put the ball on. Once we hit it, but we appreciated the heart behind it. I mean, the reason behind it, it didn't even really matter, right? Because these are all purpose-driven things. They're not your ego. They're not to make you look good. They are for you to give back.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And so we didn't mind it at all. I'll tell you, as a result of this last tournament, I don't know if Chenna, if you had a chance to meet the Medal of Honor recipient that was there.
I think I did meet him. I think I
Okay.
did meet him. He was there. I saw him when he got his award.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, there's only 61 living, and for him to be there afterwards, he came up and asked me if I'd be interested in doing an event with him this year, and he's going to bring 5 to 7 Medal of Honor recipients to our event next year, and I'm reaching out to Hall of Fame guys. And so next year is going to be the Medal of Honor and Hall of Fame Golf Invitational. And I hope you come, but we're going to get some Hall of Famers there, and we're going to raise it up a notch. We're going to raise it up a notch for our veterans, and honor the Medal of Honor guys, which, those guys and what they've done to get that award is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Walt will make it next year.
Yeah. Schedule
Awesome.
pending. Yeah.
Huh? Well, he's in there.
Are you looking at April again?
No, it's March 14th
March?
and 15th. Already got the date. Got the contracts right in front of me.
You said March. What's the date?
March 14th for the
Sunday. So that Sunday, Monday, 14th.
mixer.
15th.
Yeah, and I'm talking about this mixer, but folks, don't be showing up. This is for veterans, sponsors, and celebrities. So if you want to come, got to be a veteran or you got to be a sponsor. So you can step up and you can. I'll tell you what, it's a great time. Chenna, did you make it out for the Sunday night or not?
Which one was the Sunday night?
Yeah, it was the night before the golf tournament.
Oh no, I couldn't make it to that one. No.
Yeah, but you got there for the golf tournament.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so next year is going to be just a crazy great time. And like I said, we're going to kick it up a notch. So,
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's stupid to ask you, but what would you say was your favorite moment or memory of the Super Bowl? Because you might surprise us, but I don't think so.
I know that everybody's thinking, the intercept, the touchdown, but honestly, it wasn't even any of that. It wasn't even the game. Honestly, it was the parade after the game.
Really?
Yes, like being on that boat, or not boat, the bus, and seeing like all those fans just going crazy, like right there, like you see people crying because they're like, "Oh, thank you. You don't understand what you've done for me, and the pain I've had to live through for the past 13, whatever." I'm like, wow, like I didn't realize how big of an impact it really was until you see them people face to face and they're telling you what it means. And just to see all those people out there who support us or just out there cheering and yelling as we're driving through Seattle, and it's miles long, people just there yelling on top of trees, on top of light posts, on top of roofs, like they're like diehard fans. It's like that was the best moment of the whole Super Bowl to me. It was the parade.
Wow. What about you, Walt?
I mean, the parade is ridiculous, though. I mean, schools are getting shut down. Businesses are taking hours out their day to be able to go participate in that. I mean, it being a small big city, right, and just the level of support in the Pacific Northwest, especially Seattle, that they have for their sports franchises out there is pretty second to none. And like you're driving from. Did you guys drive from the Space Needle down to the stadium again? Was that the route?
It was the opposite. We was from the stadium to the Space Needle.
So you guys went to the stadium to the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we did it from the Space Needle to the stadium. But like as you're going down that stretch though, and you're looking in between the side streets, and like it's back down for blocks.
Yeah.
Over 1.5 miles, 2 miles long. It's just like literally the whole city comes out. The whole the majority of the state. I mean, it's a surreal feeling for sure.
I'll tell you what, for the second time, I found myself here in Orange County watching the parade on TV, cursing myself for not finding a way to get up to Seattle. Like I could have made it happen. I could have done it. And I'm like, oh no, I got too much stuff going on. And then I saw it on TV, and then I'm just like, why the hell am I not there? Because you can feel it through the TV. So I can only imagine how incredible it is. And you two, Walt and Chenna, you two have been part of the only 2 parades in my sports fan's life. I mean, I'm 50 years old, and I'm a long-suffering Seattle sports fan. I was too young to remember the 79 Sonics. So it's it, man. The 2013 Seahawks and the 2025 Seahawks. That's it. You guys have delivered for us fans. So I promise you do it again. I'm getting up for that. I'm getting up there.
See you about what was it, parade? February next year.
Yeah. So that's actually a great segue though. Like coming up the Super Bowl, you guys maintain the core integrity of both offense and defense and special teams. Like, what's your guys' thought process as you guys are getting ready to go into the season? I know, obviously you can look back and like that 2014-15 team went back and repeated to go back to the Super Bowl. I know that's probably maybe not the forefront of the conversation, but what's your guys' how are you guys are viewing this upcoming season?
Yeah, we're just picking up where we left off, but steadily improving. I feel like you mentioned, we kept a lot of the core guys for the most part. When you lose your Super Bowl MVP, that kind of hurts a little bit, but majority of the team is there, majority of the coaching is there. We lost our OC, but we have confidence in the next OC here, so we're just building off where we left off last year, and kind of like moving it forward in a way, not really trying to rebuild or trying to repeat or run it back. We're kind of running it forward, as you probably heard Mike McDonald say. So just pretty much just building on principles that we've done in the past, techniques that have worked for us, but how can they become better? How can we take it to the next level? And a lot of the guys are buying in. You see that with the rookies too. They're buying in. They're quickly learning and becoming how this thing works, how we're structured, and what it's going to take to win. And everybody's locked in this year.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion of the defensive rooms, because we were talking about some of these teams. The Rams made a big move, brought in a big player. And some of these teams have these all-star. There's the future Hall of Famers. Now, not to say that we don't, but it's more of a unit. I mean, I saw you guys come in and just just become a complete unit. I don't know what Greg, you would know what do they call the defense? It used to be Legion of Boom. Now it's
Dark Side.
The dark side. But it's like you guys just support each other every play. And what's that defense unit feeling like? I mean, because you guys are overall younger, but like you're saying, you guys have so much capacity, room to build. A lot of these other teams or their guys are on the downside. What is that? What's your defensive unit feeling like?
We just feel like we're unstoppable, man. We feel like we're the best in the world. We proved that last year. And like I said, we have a lot of the core guys coming back. Yeah, we missed a few pieces here and there, but the guys that are next up and took reps, they're ready to compete. They're ready to go. And I feel like it all starts up front, as we know. Defensive line, we kind of take control of the defense as a whole. We know if we don't play well, nobody else will play well. So we kind of take that ownership and that leadership upon ourselves to be the best versions of us that we can every day. And we know everybody else will follow. We know everybody else will pick up that intensity. So, the defense as a whole, we're feeling great. We're confident. And we can't wait to express that this season.
Yeah. And I think your defensive front is making our offensive line better, because our offensive line finally had a season, and they're young too.
Yeah.
But man, they looked really good.
Really good.
We made a couple of moves, and I think they're all positive. What are your feelings on Love? You've seen him from the opposite side of the field. We have a big hole to fill there, but what's your feelings on him?
On who, sorry?
On Love?
You mean Price?
Our running back? Price. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good for us, man. You can see it on the tape. You can see it on the field. He's very explosive. He's a patient runner. When he hits the hole, man, he hits it hard. He's very, very solid. He's a downhill runner, which I like. And I feel like he's going to be really good for us. He can catch out the backfield too, has nice hands. He can also be effective in the return game if we need him to. So he's multi-talented. You can definitely see it with him. He's gonna be big for us this year. As you know, running back is always a big for our offense and be able to run the ball. So I'm happy we have him, and I can't wait to see what he does this year.
That's awesome.
It's all good, Dave. I mean, they both played for Notre Dame, man. It's really easy to mix those up. But I got a question, if it's okay, from a fan's perspective. Like, kind of watched Mike McDonald's career, right? He turned Michigan, their defense, around, right? Then he goes to Baltimore, and if you look at the progression of Baltimore's defense and how it kind of grew and became dominant, it had a timeline of about like a year and a half. And then he's come to Seattle and he followed that timeline. But what we haven't seen yet is year 3 of a Mike McDonald defense. So I'm kind of asking you, like, what do you think's in store for us? I mean, are there going to be more things coming out of the playbook? Is it going to get more complex? Like, what does year 3 Mike McDonald defense look like?
Like you said, it's an unknown. Nobody's ever seen it. But from what I can expect is, one, we have a lot of guys returning on the defense. You know, a lot of familiar guys with the playbook. You know, we're not starting over. You know, we're not starting from scratch. We already have a head start because we've been in this system. We know how Mike thinks. We know what he likes to do. We know he likes to call. And we have a lot of versatile guys on the defense, the guys who can play in a bunch of different positions. So the playbook is really unlimited, honestly, for what Mike could do. You know, we have so many different people who can play different spots. So there's a lot of versatility out there, and I'm sure Mike is, you know, coming up with some crazy plays to throw out guys and different looks that people can't prepare for.
I've even seen they're bringing up a safety to get some rush in stuff going. Emanura.
Yeah,
I mean, they're because you do have that versatility. You mean, and that cat, if you look at him, looks like a DN almost. I mean, you know, physically he's just a force. And I think that if you could do that kind of stuff with guys that are on the field, offenses won't be able to scheme for it. You know, because you won't know where you guys are coming from. So reminiscent of
right.
Walter's years, and I'd love to hear Walter's thoughts on it.
I mean, you have someone versatile like that. Again, the more you can do, you know, makes you a great player, but then also allows the defense to be more creative. I mean, you have a guy that can be in coverage. You have a guy that can be at the line of scrimmage. He's like a linebacker. He's great in the blitzing dynamic. So, I mean, I think it just gives a lot of versatility. And like you said, like we haven't seen, you know, year 3 in Mike McDonald's defense of what's in store of being a little more creative, especially with a core group of guys that are relatively young, but taking more ownership of learning more of that playbook, right? Guys are able to play faster. Guys that already have that familiarity and comfortability of the defense. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting just to see the dynamic of, you know, what comes on, especially bringing some of the false pressures that they like to do and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, they have the personnel. I mean, they have a lot of great pieces, you know, on this defense. And I mean, yeah, I mean, not too many people left. I mean, some of those guys that left, you know, I mean, everyone in the NFL is replaceable in some capacity. And I think we did a very solid job of being able to continue to develop guys that were already in the organization. And I think they did a very good job of drafting some young DBs to be able to replace some of those guys that they kind of had to walk through this offseason, you know. So, I mean, I think that core, like Uchenna said, I mean, everything starts in the trenches. I mean, if those guys aren't going out and doing what they're supposed to do and playing at a high level, I mean, it makes the DB's jobs easier, you know, having to cover and stuff like that, though. And so, like, you know, you keep that core dynamic and you have versatility with some of the players. I mean, yeah, I mean, that just makes it for a very tough defense to kind of stop.
So, Uchenna, give us an idea of, because I've heard a lot about this too, and that is the overall feeling of the locker room, the game time locker room, and I don't know, is there a way that you can describe it, say versus, you know, the Chargers and some of the other deals? Is it different? And if so, how would you describe it?
I mean, for the most part, the locker rooms I've been in on game day are kind of all the same. You know, guys kind of get in there that kind of got their own thing, like whether that's stretching or, you know, getting in the hot tub or going out on the field or just listening to music. You know, guys kind of typically do their own thing. What I will say is different is, you know, the Seahawks, we have our thing when we come up and we have our theme song and everybody's trying to get turned before we go out there. And it's kind of like our together moment. That's like our us. That's like our thing before we go out there. That's our camaraderie moment. And I will say it does work. You know, we got a couple of great speakers who give great speeches, who know how to get guys fired up. You know, a la Jay
Right.
Reed, Sam, EJ. Those are, you know, guys that get the team going before we go out there. So I will say, you know, it's one of the more connected teams I've been on in terms of that pregame, and it's worked for us moving forward, and it will continue to.
Yeah, and I was wondering if faith played a role, because we know Coach McDonald is a man of faith, and Sam's a big faith guy. Is there any sense of that in the locker room as well? I mean, we all pray before we go on the field, but it's just actually, it was a personal question. I was just curious.
Yeah, definitely. We all join hands. We all say a great prayer. Pastor John Rainey, our team chaplain, does a great job leading us in prayer before and after the game. And that's definitely a sense of faith in the locker room. Everybody is, for the most part, pretty involved in that, and that's something we'll continue to carry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey Dave, can I go back to something you said and expand on a little bit, because you
Absolutely.
mentioned the comparison to the Chargers. I think, Uchenna, if my math is right, you've now split your career between the Chargers and the Seahawks, right? Like 4 years each. Do I have that right?
Yep.
Okay, so look, our team's getting sold, man. And as a fan, I'm kind of freaking out because I've been a fan long enough to know that ownership matters, right? It absolutely does. The Seahawks had success in the 80s when I was a kid growing up, but everything changed when Paul Allen took over, right? And the Allen group, you know, we've had just tremendous success since then. You know, you've been a part of, you know, the Seahawks with great ownership, and the Chargers notoriously not so great ownership. What are the differences from your perspective that you can share on that? I'm just kind of curious. Is it just they buy crappy food with the Chargers? They're cheap about everything. Like, what are some of the things you see, because you've got perspective from both?
Well, you know, when I first got to the Chargers, you know, I'm grateful for them drafting me, of course. But, you know, I was kind of a younger dude, you know, so I didn't really know, or, you know, what to expect, what to look out for. I thought that this is how I was everywhere. But, you know, they had just moved from San Diego. You know, they were trying to find a location. So I guess the facilities weren't standard NFL facilities, what they were supposed to be. So, you know, they were it was a little underwhelming there. But, you know, they got their new facility now, and I'm sure it looks great, and they got the food now. But during that time I was there, it was kind of more of a transition period, you know. So
Right.
they couldn't really provide everything they needed to be for the team, because they were still trying to figure things out, and, you know, trying to get the new place built. So I mean, they got it now, and I mean, they're doing great now. So,
But those facilities in Seattle, I've been there. Those pretty nice.
they're from where I came from, the Chargers and office buildings as lockers. Yeah, it's definitely improvement.
Yeah, on the lake, you know,
On the water,
just everything about it is really, really pretty.
Yeah.
So I was in Seattle in 88, 89, and we actually were at a college. We were kind of like you were like with the Chargers in a transition. We were kind of making do. Our weight room was like worse than a high school weight room. You know, I mean, it everything was subpar that I expected a lot more going to the NFL.
Yeah.
And then the Nordstroms bought it back and then turned it over to the Allens. But ownership matters, and I think we know that. You know, just like, I mean, you look at the Browns every year, and on paper you're going, holy smokes, these Browns are going to be good, and then they're not. Because, you know, I don't know if you know any guys playing for them, Uchenna, but I know of, you know, like first rounders that went there and just said it was just a horrible experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not good. That's not conducive to winning for sure.
No. Yeah. Shout out to, you know, Paul and Joey. They've done a great job taking care of us.
Yeah.
Listening to the things we need. You know, really listening to our feedback as players. As you guys saw, they're not the weight room. Sorry, the training facility, the training room. They revamped that whole training room. They got us new tubs in there, and they just continue to listen to us and, you know, make the changes necessary to change as they can. And it contributes to winning for sure.
And they don't mind writing checks to get you guys some really nice rings. You don't happen to have that thing sitting by you, do you?
Oh man.
No, I don't. I don't have it on me right now.
I was dying to see that because I was watching videos on that thing, man.
I actually need to go get it. Actually, but I left it with my parents so they can see, so they can, you know, so the family can see and spend some time with it. But I'll definitely go pick that up.
Are you gonna rock it on your finger, or are you gonna rock it as a necklace? Because that's one of the coolest features, I think.
Both. I'm doing both.
That thing's multi-layered.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
it's really nice. It's really nice. Next time I see you, Dave, I'll definitely let you see it.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, the first time they won, I had this really great idea to reach out to Paul Allen saying, you know, hey, gee whiz, we finally won a Super Bowl. How about all the guys that were there before? You know, you don't have to give us like a gold. It could be silver or whatever, but you know, like a little just something. But I didn't. But I didn't do it. He might have done it though. You know, I mean, like I said, they've been that kind of ownership, and that's got to be, like I said, a lot of fun for you guys. How did you guys feel this year with the 12s with the home games? It sure seemed a lot better than the year before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're winning, and you know, people want to come see you. So you know, we definitely my first year I got there, 2022, and was not, you know, we made the playoffs, you know, which was good, but you know, kind of the year after that, you know, it was a little kind of fell off the map a little bit. And then Mike came back. We went 10-7. We did pretty solid. But fans, they still want to see more. That's what they deserve. You know, they're used to winning, you know, championships, making the playoffs, making deep runs. And so we knew we had to get back to that. And then this past year, they supported us, no doubt. And they were every bit of the reason why we won the Super Bowl this year.
Right. So I know Walt's talked a lot about that. You know, the playing at home, especially on the defensive side of things. That's a really smart fan base. Quiet when offense is on, and off the chart crazy when defense is on.
Yeah.
Walt, you've been quiet.
Hey, when did you guys realize, or kind of had an understanding point in the season when like we have a legitimate shot to run the table, you know, own the NFC West and make this push for the Super Bowl?
I'll probably say, I don't know. It kind of started early on. You know, we knew what kind of team we had coming out of training camp. You know, guys were just flying around, making all kinds of plays. And then, of course, you know, kind of started the season up and down, whatever. And then I feel like when we went to Jacksonville, defensively, you know, we had our best game, you know, especially up front. You know, everybody was getting sacks. Everybody was feasting. Guys were celebrating with one another. It was the most fun we've had, probably that season, other than winning the Super Bowl, of course. But where guys, and when everybody's involved and everybody's making plays defensively, that's when we know we got something special. You know, you see a lot of teams where one guy is going off all the time, or a few guys here and there, but no, it was the whole entire defense that was going off. And from there on, we kind of knew what kind of team we had and what kind of team we could be if we kept believing, kept working, kept trusting the process. And, you know, ultimately it led us to who we are, and we're able to, you know, make plays and win games.
Yeah.
Greg, go ahead if you were going to say something, because I had a thought, and then, anyway.
I was going to ask you, Uchenna, like I'm talking as a fan here, right? So just forgive the ignorance. I'm not in this locker room. I don't know the players or anything like that. But from my perspective as a fan, I was really happy to see, you know, Daryl Hall get re-signed. I was like, hell yeah, like I think that's really smart. And part of the reason is because if you watch and you listen, it's because he's really good at setting the edge. And that's something that you're like known for, right? Like, you know, you really set the edge on the run. What is that? I know what it means, but what does it take, I guess, is what I'm asking. Like, how is it just discipline, like just choosing not to run at the quarterback? Like, what does it take to be a good edge setter?
Yeah, it definitely takes discipline, because there's a lot of times where you want to go inside because you think you can make a play. And you know you can't do that, because if you go inside and that running back bounces out for 60 yards, that's you. And you don't want that on you, not in this defense when everybody else is doing their job. But no, it definitely takes a mentality. I feel like a lot of guys nowadays want to be finesse guys. They want to be pass rushers. They want to get after the quarterback, which we all do, of course. You know, that's how you get paid. But being able to be a force in the run and stop the team from running the ball, especially your side on the edge, like that just shows how tough you are and how much you're willing to ride for the team. And I feel like there needs to be more praise and run stopping defensive players, especially on the edge, and not just getting after the quarterback. Because if you don't get after the quarterback, if you can't stop the run, everybody knows that. So it definitely takes a mentality. It definitely takes discipline, and that's everything Derek Hall really has and is about.
Yeah, Greg, that was an excellent question, actually, and Uchenna, you gave some great insight because everyone, look, it's how we got there, right? Is being the star,
Yeah.
and it's so tempting when you see an opening or an opportunity to be a star. Instead, you stay disciplined and you stay where you are, and let somebody else make the play.
Yeah.
Let somebody else do it. And we don't see that enough. We see too much ego and guys wanting to be and give up their gap or give up that edge to go make a play and get suckered in. And like you said, bounce it for 60,
Quickly, fast.
Yeah, right, quick. I do remember what I was going to say, and I don't want to take too much credit, but I do have to share this with you. Greg knows this. We were doing a watch party at some other place in Orange County, and when we changed it to Bruno's, we went undefeated. We never lost a game. As soon as we changed our watch party to Bruno's, not to say, like I said,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
There you go, Greg.
We are going to take some credit because that was the announcement. I was like, guys, keep showing up because every week since we moved this to Bruno's, we are undefeated, and everyone would go nuts. And then I'm telling you, Walt's been there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff, huh?
I gotta come check out Bruno's. I don't know if I've been there yet.
Yeah, and we'll have to go before the season. Hey, when do you guys start up?
The 24th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys.
And that's when you're there full time, right?
Yeah.
Rookies are in, everybody's in.
Everybody's in.
All right. First preseason game is.
I think it's do we have a Hall of Fame game this year? I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
you do.
We do? Oh, dang. So, yeah, we start early. First game probably in August.
Super Bowl champ.
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
August, then.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? This piece of art right here is the artist that paints the Hall of he paints a rendering for every Hall of Fame game. I don't know what year this one is, but he actually signed it as well. This is a print, and it's some guy must have played for the Bears because he's in an overcoat and it's snowing and freezing. Yeah, but anyhow, I got the Hall of Fame game this year.
Yeah, so we definitely started a little earlier. Yeah.
But still, so it's only about a month after you guys start camp?
Most likely, yeah.
How long were you in camp, Walt?
Probably about a month. I mean, we would probably report sometime back in July.
Oh,
and then usually it goes until like that.
Like the last week of August or something like that.
Yeah, last week of August, right there, and kind of get a break, and that's when they do all their cuts. They kind of like a natural, just built-in week break.
Yeah.
Before the season.
How many preseason games? 3?
It's 3 now. Yep.
3 now.
Yeah, so this is when I get to share my old man, I can't believe I'm alive story of camp going on for literally 4 weeks and having 4, at least I think 4, maybe 5 preseason games. Camp was like 2.5 months of 2-a-days. Yeah, every day.
2.5 months.
Yeah, and it's so funny. The first preseason game we're playing Arizona, and our left tackle and left guard held out. So I'm playing. They moved me to left guard because we drafted a first round pick at tackle, and I was like I looked like a mummy. My groins were taped. Both groins were taped. Both elbows were taped because I'd hyperextend. I'm taking every rep for 2-a-days, going live, and I remember coming out of the tunnel, and getting announced. I was so proud. My family is there. I'm going, holy smokes, man! I hope I just don't fall apart. And the tape held me together, man. I had a great game at left guard.
Put you through the ringer.
Oh, everything hurt, man. Everything hurt.
Whatever.
I think I pulled everything.
You still got it. I mean, back to these watch parties. I think it was at the first place. We're doing our push-ups, right? And by the way, the push-up thing's harder than it sounds. Like it actually, it's not just about the volume of points. It's about the frequency of scoring. I'll give you an example. You guys get 2 touchdowns. You do 7 push-ups, then you do 14. That's 21 push-ups. You get a touchdown and 2 field goals. The score is only 13, but now I've just done 30 push-ups because I had to do 7, 10, 13, right? So the games would get gnarly when it was like 44 and you had like 3 touchdowns, 5 field goals. It was fantastic though, man. We got sold. But Dave, one time I'm looking over, I'm doing my push-ups, and I was getting tired, and I look over, and Dave's got this girl on his back. Like she was sitting cross-legged, like this little Asian lady sitting on his back, clapping, and Dave's just like, woo, woo, buzzing it out, man. It was so fun. He's still got it, man. Don't let him fool you. He's still yoked.
Yeah. Well, still old.
That's funny.
I got one more question, and Uchenna, and you feel free to take the fifth and just say, no, man, I ain't answering that. But I'm just very curious, again, from a fan's perspective, seeing how this is going. Dave's talking about 5 preseason games, but that was back when there were less games. We got 17 games now, and all signs are pointing to 18 game schedule. Like, how do you as a player feel about that?
I hate it.
Okay. I love the honesty. I would
Yeah,
too.
I mean, you know how hard it is when it was 16 games, so now 17th game and now 18th game, like the body can only take so much, man. By, when you get to like week 6, week 7, week 8, you already hurting, and no amount of recovery you do, how much hot tub, stretching, massage, like you still gonna be sore when you walk out on that field. And you're good by Sunday, of course, because you gotta be. But during the week, man, it's tough, man. It's hard on the body. And you see all these guys getting injured now, and they talk about sports science and how can we take care of guys, which the club do a good job of. Certain guys, especially older guys, they take care of. But man, it's just tough on the body to be able to endure so much of that force. The body's not meant to do this, what we do, So I don't like 18 games. I hope it doesn't go through. But if it goes through, I'm gonna be playing. If I'm still playing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Uchenna, the NFLPA, I'm the president here in Orange County. I sit on the former players advisory board overseeing all 4 chapters. The PA is ramping up. The PA is ramping up to protect you guys and to do battle. And 2 of course, the big topics are not just the strain of the 18 game season, which they want, but all the travel. I mean, if you guys are going over to England and then going to Mexico and then going to, that travel, people don't realize that's a day there, day back, especially when you're going overseas and then you're eating whatever that food is. Like I've been to London, I've been to Germany, and I that food's horrible. I don't care where you go. It's not good.
Germany was bad. I remember Germany was terrible.
Bad. So I'm German heritage. I wanted it to be good, and it was bad. I couldn't wait to get out of Germany. It's like there's so many things that they want to do for the money, which is why they own the team, but they're not really thinking about the overall health of the guys that are helping them to make that money. So I'll tell you, the PA, we're ramping up, ready to do some negotiating, some battle, to make sure that you guys are represented. Not only that, I know another big discussion or something that's real important to you guys is the condition of the fields, and that no one wants to play on turf anymore. The Raiders have proved you can roll in grass into a stadium. Yeah. There's a couple other stadiums I think that do that as well. Now, we're talking about money. It ain't going to be cheap to do, but they've proven they can do it. Yeah. And, if we want to prolong the life of the players and not have them have to have knee replacements at 50 years old. I mean, so many of my brothers that I'm part of the PA that we're at, chapter meetings, they're having hip replacements, second knee replacements, and they're only 50, 60 years old, So, that's the wear and tear is real, and the turf is a big part of it. But that schedule is also something. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. You can't win them all. So what are we going to concede? And what's going to be the end result?
I mean, they've proven. Look at the World Cup. I mean, you know what they're doing for the grass up at our stadium right now for the World Cup. They've proven it's feasible and doable. It's just a matter of will. Right. And don't tell me it's too expensive. The NFL's printing money right now. So
they rolled grass into Lumen.
Yes, they will
No,
grass at every stadium that has turf.
Lumen's got, and I hear it's like elevated, like they raised up the field to create like better drainage or something. And like the way they're mowing it, it like vacuums it up so the blades are straight up and they cut it, because soccer players are fussy about their turf, right?
Very
So
fussy. Yeah.
we're going to great lengths to make this incredible turf. So we know it can be done. So I don't want to hear from the NFL that, oh, it's too expensive,
Well,
we can't baloney. That's
I mean,
not
you
true.
already have a proof of concept with the World Cup there, so it's like
Yeah.
you can't say it can't be done when literally it's being proven on the world stage right now that it can be done.
Bingo.
well, wait, guys, but let's keep in mind these cats are $160, and they're spread out all over the field. There's not 320 shoulder to shoulder stomping and moving, and I mean, they're moving real turf out by the roots. So it's a little bit more difficult, I think, but it's proven that it can be done.
You're making divots bigger than my golf swing.
Yeah, bigger than yours. But is that also a talk? Is it what else is a talk that's important to players that you can share for this upcoming bargaining? When I say it's upcoming, it's years away. But for us or for you, it's right around the corner, because we got to start preparing for that now. What are the other topics that are important to the players?
Definitely. I think a lot of the guys, especially like younger guys, they want I think because you have to have a certain number of years for like benefits or something like that. I'm not sure.
Three.
Yeah, 3 years. So a lot of guys, play 1 year, 2 years, and they're out the league and they don't have any benefits. So I know that's been a big talk.
Yep.
Yep. So I know that's been a big talk about protecting the younger guys or the undrafted guys, whoever it may be. I'm blanking on the top of my head, but I know that was a big one. I think we got what, insurance coverage, 5 years up until after you retire or something like that?
Up to 5 years. Now, I'm going to share something with you that whether you've maybe not have heard it. There's been a lot of discussion with every insurance company that there is about providing lifetime health care like other leagues do and other companies do, or whatever that is. And there is zero interest by any insurer. The insurer says, we don't care how much money you offer us. We just know it's going to cost us way too much because of what we were just talking about. Every cat is getting replacements and having issues, and it's all extremities. I mean, knee and hip, but back issues, neck issues, and other health issues. We don't the health mental aspect of it. But so there's been discussion that's been presented, but there's been zero budge room on any insurer to cover us. So unless we self-insure, and that means setting aside billions of dollars to self-insure the players through their lifetime, it's just not going to happen. I mean, they pretty much just said, look, guys, find something else, because it ain't going to happen.
Okay, and how about instead of that, maybe extend the period of, until after you retire, instead of 5 years, make it like at least 10 years or 12 years or something like that.
Stretch it out.
Right. Yeah. There's, and we can actually, this is an interesting topic, I think, because a lot of people want to understand how does this thing work for the players afterwards. Sometimes they're given a chunk of money. Every player gets a X dollar amount into an HSA account, which is a health savings account that they can use for additional things like what you're talking about. So if it's not covered, then you could, get whatever stem cell or whatever. Well, they gave it to all the best guys, but then there's a bunch of us with less than 3 years that could have used some money, and it was a big chunk of money. That was the last CBA. And so if they would have maybe spent a little bit of time asking current and former players, we have this chunk of money, what makes sense? Instead of giving all of it, and it was a big chunk, it's like $50,000 per player, and this is it's all public knowledge. So it's $50,000 per player into an HSA account. I go, why don't you give them 25? Because they say there's so many of us that are less than 3 years. There's the 2 year guys grows number wise, and then the 1 year guys is like double that. In less than 1 year, the number goes off the chart. You've been into enough camps. There's guys that come in there for a month, and they're gone, and they never get another chance. I mean, you can't give benefits to everybody that's walked onto the field, but but at least the 1 year plus guys. You could have given every 1 year plus guy 2,500 in an edge to say if you just split it in half. And then I could have, a guy like me that has really bad insurance would have covered my deductible for a year or something. You know what I mean? I really could have used that. So I think sometimes we don't always make the best decisions with the monies we win. They don't go down to that nth degree. So that's why I was glad to hear that some of the younger guys are thinking about, I might be a 1 year guy. So, let's start thinking about those and getting them maybe a little bit more benefits, because I do a lot in helping guys. And actually, Uchenna, if you know any guys that played just a few years that are local Southern California guys, any guys you played with in college or with any of the teams now in an 8 year, 9 year career, send them my number, because I felt a lot of guys get a lot of benefits that they didn't think they were entitled to because they didn't play enough years. And there's a lot out there. So I won't spend too much time talking about that because we want to talk about just wrapping up. And so you got an off season. How are you feeling? How are you feeling this year? I say versus the previous 2 or 3, because you've had some injuries towards the end of the season, the previous couple of years. How are you feeling entering this season?
I'm feeling the best I felt since after my 2022 season. When I had my breakout year, and just being that again and being able to fully commit to that and getting back to what that feels like, man, it feels good because. Being injured these last few years, I was dealing with a lot, torn pec, grade 3 meniscus, torn quad, meniscus, all this stuff going on. I was kind of down in the dumps, not gonna lie, man. I did think about retirement. At one point, I was like, man, maybe it's just time to hang it up. This is how it goes. You play in the NFL, you have a great, 1 or 2 years, and then, you hear about guys getting injured and never playing again. So I actually did think about that for a while. But I prayed. Faith is really big in my family. I have a great support system. My mom, dad, my sisters, my grandmother. I talked to my coaches a lot. They said, don't worry, you'll get back to yourself. You'll get over this injury bug, and it did. It finally was over with, and I was able to make it through a full season and win the championship. So I know there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I know if I still you just continue to believe and keep my faith close, that anything is possible. So. I'm happy to be finally over that hump. Anything can happen in the future. I'm not saying, it can't happen again, but just to be able to feel that joy again and playing football means a lot to me. And I'm happy I was able to experience that again.
That's awesome. You mentioned your mom. She's a sweetheart. She's been fun to get to know. I don't know. She's just over the top. And I think a lot of players' moms are, but it's been really nice getting to know her, and she's a sweetheart. Hey, real quick, your foundation, what is it? What are you guys doing, and how can 12 support you as we continue to have you as part of our organization?
Yeah, the Uchenna Nwosu Foundation, pretty much empowering and inspiring the youth any way we can, from backpack giveaways to youth football camps to Toys for Tots, anything to gives back to the youth. We would like to have the 12s involved. I have a social media page, foundation page that you guys can follow at the Uchenna Nwosu Foundation. That's where I post all my events. I'm not asking for money, but even if you donate a backpack or a jacket or a coat, for the kids, that would be great. So definitely stay locked into that, as I'll be doing some more things this upcoming year. And appreciate the 12s for their support.
Yeah, and I know you've done a lot for your old high school, Narbonne.
Yep.
And you still are involved there. Who's the athletic director there?
Man, her name Miss Vicky. Her name is Miss Vicky. She's the athletic director there. She's a great woman. She's doing a great thing with the school. Even though the school has its ups and downs, she's still keeping it, above water. So shout out to her. She's a great woman.
Yeah, I need to touch base with her. We do a youth mental and emotional resiliency program at a lot of schools here in Santa Ana and other areas. I mentioned it to her. She actually wants to put Narbonne through it because it helps kids recognize, positive and negative influences, positive and negative experiences, all those things that every kid is going through. It doesn't matter if you're in Orange County or if you're, in Carson. It really doesn't matter. They're all going through it. It just looks a little bit different. Right. Absolutely. And so if we can give the kids some tools and give them some hope and teach them about forgiveness and moving forward and bettering your lives, that's what it's about. So I need to reach out to her. Hey guys, any other questions for Uchenna before actually we all go?
No, I appreciate the time, Uchenna.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me,
Hey.
Dave.
And I, for one, man, I'm glad you stuck around. I'm glad you made it through those dark times and you decided to
Yep.
come back as a fan, man. We're
Yeah.
just wishing you the best and praying for you, and we're gonna be cheering you on, my man.
I'd definitely be praying for you in another healthy season, successful season, and we'll see you March 15th.
See you March 15th at the golf tournament.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody, and go Hawks.
Thanks, guys.
Go Hawks.
Hawks.